At this time, we're going to have our valedictorian, Austin Tona, give us a speech for us, or speak to us. Come on up. He asked if we could have 30 minutes, so we gave him 15.
Looking at it, I thought it'd be 30 minutes, but I read it and I'm like, I could do it in 10, but when I'm nervous, I probably only do it in 15. Hold on, you're supposed to turn this to graduate.
Yeah, graduate.
Oh, okay. I just want to thank the Lord, first of all, for all that He has done for me. I want to thank Him that I'm a free man in heart, mind, and soul. And I wouldn't be the sort of man you see standing here today if it wasn't for His only Son's sacrifice on an old wooden cross. I appreciate the fact He blessed me with a loving family. I want to thank my mother, most importantly, for she's an inspiration to me and the greatest mother in the world. Also my grandfather, for he showed me what it means to be a man of God. I want to thank my grandmother for all the sacrifices and constant prayers she has given. I want to thank my dad and his family for driving down this distance with the rest of the Tona family, coming all the way from Redding, California. I want to thank my dad also for all the support. Also my brother who came, who's currently serving in the Marines. And his friend there who's serving in the Marines too. Special where is it? The rest of my family on my mother's side, which took the time to drive all the way out here, thank you. As for many of our friends which did the same, thank you. I want to thank you all for your time out of your busy schedules to be here to see me graduate. I've been going to Western Education Center since the 8th grade, a little over 5 years of my life. I guess I can be called a veteran. I learned a lot, not only academically, but spiritually also. I first want to bring to your attention the unsung hero of the school, and that would be Mrs. Stewart. For many of you know, she's the one person who started the school, and she is the head of the school officially. For without her, there would have been no school, and a lot of the children which got kicked out of public school would have no place to come to get a second chance. And most of the kids who came were those kids which had no place to go. Most kids remember her for being strict at times, but I'll remember her for more than that. I'll remember her for the times when she cried hearing the news that a couple of well-known students of ours were going back to public school. Also when she would call me and Renee back to the back room to pray for someone in deep need. Or the times when she would lead one of the students to Christ. She loved them all. Amen. I'll remember her as the unsung hero. I also want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Paris. I don't know, Mr. Paris is there, I don't know where Mrs. Paris is at. Oh, she's in the back room getting everything ready for you guys. I want to thank them both for all their hard work. When I first heard of Mr. Paris, I was told he was a 6'4" Vietnam vet and a helicopter pilot. And he also got shot down 6 or 7 times over there and lived to tell the tale. My first impression of hearing this is one of those drill sergeants that you see in the U.S. Army. And I thought if I made the slightest mistake, he would scream at me. But I was wrong about that. Instead of being the most hardcore teachers I thought I'd ever have, He's by far the coolest teacher I've ever had. I remember he would even join us in playing soccer at times. He's been asked by many people if he would ever write a book. To be honest, I don't think they could find a book big enough. Mr. Paris is like John Wayne to me. He is a man that deserves quite an amount of respect while being a good friend. Yeah. Thank you for all the help in school, including those countless years of algebra we did daily, almost every day. For the students here, I cannot summon words all the countless times we've been together. In the good and also in the bad. I remember it was just me and little Donnie Paris. He couldn't make it today, but he's over doing Scouts, I believe. National leadership training for the Scouts. And some other kids who were here in the beginning. I know many of you thought I was weird or different and didn't see why I lived the life I lived. You probably said or thought in your mind I was a goody two-shoes or a Mr. Perfect. You couldn't quite understand why I would not go out and live a little. But I want you to understand this. I am a standard bearer. A standard bearer in the past of America stood in front of a battle line while bullets flying everywhere and men were scared half to death. It was his job to inspire confidence in those around him, encouraging those in the cause of which they fought for. It was a symbol of freedom. The flag bearer, as we call standard bearer, was the guy with the biggest target, since he held the most visible thing out on the battlefield. He was usually the first one to go down, but he was to never drop the standard. In the Battle of Fort Wagner during the Civil War, the 54th Colored Regiment, called the Glory Regiment, was facing the most hard-fought battle it had ever seen. There was a sergeant named William Carney. He seen the standard bearer get shot, took the flag, being shot twice himself, and carried it to the camp when the battle turned for the worst. With everyone cheering both black and white from him for bringing back the standard, he made his way to the field hospital. While making his last steps, he said, "Boys, I but did my duty. The dear old flag never touched the ground." He collapsed and died afterwards. My standard is the flag over there, the Christian flag. The red on the American flag represents the blood that was shed to keep this country free. Shed his blood that the whole world would be made free from the bondage of sin and death. And that's what the red stands for on the cross of this Christian flag. The blue, like the American flag, represents the courage and faith it takes to believe in that freedom, which was bought at so heavy a cost. The white represents the ability to surrender our will to God so we can live a free life. Just like the white on the American flag represents justice, which is needed for there to be freedom. That is my standard. Sorry, I lost my spot. I will do my best to never drop it. This is talking about why I do my best to live a good life, and why I might come off as a goody two-shoes to some. I want you to all know the cause of which I fight for spiritually, and that is Jesus Christ. And if you forget everything about me, remember this: I am a standard bearer.